long pull round. There it is. Happy days. We're just getting straight on with it. Right guys, that shout there was the start of the match, and as you can see I'm not ready and I haven't done an intro. Just a little bit of ground bit quickly. So I'll tell you what we're doing while I'm doing this. I hope you can hear me for all the rattling of buckets. I haven't even done that. Well, the ground bit's prepped, but I've just not riddled it. So I'm actually on the Shropshire Union Canal. I've not got the rest of the cameras on yet. I've managed to get this camera on and the microphone. But it's the WICAC, so I forget which number it is, maybe WICAC 45. But yeah, it's the water industry's national competition. Some decent talent down here, and I've drawn on what is C-section today. I think I'm at Little Onn, and I think I've got a pretty good peg. I've got a little bit of tree cover across. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but basically I've got about a foot of depth across. I've got about 3 foot on the inside, similar down the middle, fishing up the far slope. So yeah, I've got about 5 or 6 rigs on the go. We're going to set on the back box and get started. Okay, so I hope you've got a decent enough view of the canal from both angles. I've also got the body cam on, but I've not started that one up yet. Right, I think what I'm going to do is start out on the bread, because I'm so late, and we'll start to feed these lines as we go along. So my initial plan is to start short. I'm going to use a 0.3 gram SF3 float, just strung out shotting, and see if we can grab a couple of early fish basically. Just fishing the top 2 plus 1. So very little difference in depth. I thought there'd be a slightly more pronounced shelf on here, but there don't seem to be. Not chopped any worms up. I'm just not ready at all. So actually, I was gonna put my bread in quite wet, but because the canal's not towing, yesterday we came down for a look and it was towing hard. I think I'm just going to take a squeeze of it, little sort of golf ball. I'm just going to pop that in, top 2 plus 1. Hopefully you can see, but I'm just going to pop it down from the right hand side, not going too far out. Boom, in we go. That's that line fed. Now then, I think I will put a bit of ground bait out on. My next line is, well, it's probably only, well, it's the next 2 cents. So it's shallowing up at that. It's 6 inches shallower than down the middle. So if I went on the top 5, that's probably the deepest point. I think I'm just going to put a little bit of ground bait and maggot in there. Looking across to the trees, there's a moorhen or coot swimming under there at this moment in time. But looking across there is really where I want to target for chub, possibly. I don't know if there's any there, but that's what I'm hoping to get. So this line, 6 metres across. I'm not going to do 10 and 2 and all of that. I'm just going to try and keep it simple to start with. We can always set up more lines as we go along. I'm just going to fish this slightly out at 1 o'clock to me. Drop in a ball of ground bait. I will chop a bit of worm up, get that over the top. Well, that's 1 ball in. Just going to give it 3 balls on this to start with. Put some maggots over it as well. Sprinkle a few in loose. It's not deep, so not particularly worried about it. And maybe a lot of minnows to contend with. I honestly don't know. I've never fished it. We only know what we've seen on David Brown videos, which pretty much everybody's watched, and yeah, that's about it. So a little bit of bait just thrown in from above. Before I put my next one in, I'm just going to chop a little bit of worm, get some worms up. We'll sort those out as we go along throughout the course of the day. It's awful being rushed, isn't it? So at least this line will be primed, because I'm either going to catch within the first sort of 10 minutes on the bread, or not at all. So we need somewhere to go. As I say, I would like to start priming the lines across with worm as well. Well, certainly one of them with worm. So I'm just going to go in with an SF1 0.3 gram. It's just shotted weight. Number 10s down the line. Size 20 carbon match hook. Probably be better off with a B511, but I haven't had a chance to swap it out yet, so we might have to do that later. Some Mavers, 4 and 5mm. I'm going to go in with a piece of 5mm straight away, see if I can find a bonus bream or skimmer. Something a bit better. Neat bread, straight out the packet, and I've got one of the Guru punching boxes, which when I get the chest camera on I'll probably give you a pan round on the bait tray, but it's a right mess at this moment in time. So, one extra section on, and let's drop that in. We're literally just fishing right in front of ourselves. Picked up a leaf there as well, so I'm going to go back in. That's it. It took 2 drops, but well, I picked up a tiny fish on the punch. It's a gudgeon, but it's something. It's a start. So I'm just lowering this little rig in. Just trying to basically see what's down here. Now I'm thinking I'll get some worm popped across there at 14.5 metres down to my right hand side, just going under those sort of overhanging hawthorns, and that could be where some better fish are riding out, some chub maybe, tucked up against the far bank. I'll fish just off it because it gets very, very shallow, right tight up. But if we do start to get a few indications on it, then I'll probably start firing a bit of caster across there with the catapult when I get that out. Well, this bread line's looking pretty slow, to be fair. So this might become a squat line later on, I don't know. We're just going to be chopping and changing, putting little small amounts of bait in and trying to pick up anything we can. So I've not really had the response that I want here on the bread, but once I get settled I may come back to it, try it again. It's probably, maybe all the fish have pushed out, I don't know, with all the disturbance on the bank. So one last look on this bread and then I'm getting off it. I'll probably just go for a look straight down the track on the 6 metre line where I've put that ground bait and chop worm. See if we can pull something out on worm in the deeper water. A little bit of tow coming on now. So I've set up sort of 5 rigs. I've got a 1 gram Daiwa carper with an Olivet, so it sounds really heavy for sort of 3-4 foot of water max. But if it starts towing, I think I'll need it to be able to hold in station. Now I just had a little bite there as we're trotting through on the bread, talking to you. And that's another small fish. So there's definitely fish there to be had. That's a tiny roach. I don't think we're going to win anything with them though, so told the team don't spend too long looking for big fish, but you have at least got to have a look for them. So I just wanted to settle in, see if there was any half decent quality fish on this short line with the bread. If we're only going to get small stuff, I'm going to start looking around my lines, looking for something a bit better. So it is towing again, so they must have opened some locks somewhere. So there's no boats coming through. We've had one through this morning. I would expect bread to fish a bit better than this, if they were going to really have it. Well, there was a lot of fish close in. I don't know whether letting that run down or just holding hard in position is probably the best way. I'll just have one more go with the bread. Just hold it back a bit, if I can. Other rigs I've got a 0.4 gram AS8 set, same depth as this, so I can fish this rig both at this line, the top 2+1, and the sort of 6 metre line, if you like, and the same with the 0.4 gram AS8, which is bulked just to give me a bit more stability. So it's only 0.1 gram heavier than this, but it just gives me a bit more. I've got a little bit of back shot on, just if the wind and breeze gets up, and yeah, I'm holding now, so it looks like the canal's still pulling a little bit, but not too hard. But I think this is looking a bit too slow. I'd be expecting faster bites than this on bread. So I'm getting off this because there's still a bit of tow on. I'm going to pick up my 0.4 gram, going with a piece of worm. Now then, I've actually got a little island float for a cross, which is set up quite heavy, so it's a carp rig really, but that's for the chub, and I've got a 14s hook on that, 0.11 bottom, it's 0.15 mainline. Hope that's strong enough. I've got 6 to 8 elastic to fish over there, so that is my bonus fish. But I've also got a lighter rig, a little Drennan Pug old school float. So there's the little island float, just some stocks on that basically, and yeah, size 14 red maggot hook on there for the chub, hopefully. And I'll show you the little pug. So an old school little pug that's just got number 11s down the line, and that's if I've got to fish long for small stuff over the same line. And then this one that we're going to go on now, which is the 0.4 gram AS8, small bulk of shot. We're on size 20 again, so I'm going to try a big red maggot or a bronze maggot. I've got reds and bronze maggots here today. I've got pinkies, casters, worms, bread, and I have got hemp, but I think feeding hemp is going to complicate things, and I've not really set a hemp rig up. So if I need to, I'll start thinking about it in a couple of hours, but I think we've got enough to go at here, and not knowing the venue, I'm just going to try and work it out. So I've got a maggot over that worm and a maggot that we put in over that ground bait. Let's see if anything's sitting there. There's definitely a few fish topping on that longer line. I'm thinking of fishing one sort of off at 1 o'clock, just to my right, and then the long one. So it's about 13 metres, it's not even quite 13 metres across there. You get away with fishing a bit less than that. But down to my right, I need a full sort of 14.5. This 0.4 gram rig is holding lovely out there. It's just sitting nice. but I'm not getting any bites. So nothing on big maggot, so I think I want to try a piece of worm straight away. So I'm just going to put a tiny little piece of worm on. That's it. Wallow that in. Boat coming through, so we're going to have to move. Morning. Might have to consider refeeding this line straight away now, but I've not had any bites on it, so what do I do here? Really stirs the bottom up those boats. Mucky brown coming through. Just not getting any signs on the track, so I think we're going to get off this, go and have a look on the longer lines, set something up, get straight over them. I think I'll probably put a bit more feed on that since that boat's gone through. So just a small golf ball. Another boat coming through, so we're going to have to wait. Okay, straight in now. Get that bait in. Right, I'm going to feed sort of that 100 ml worm, chopped worm, and just a small handful of casters into this 14.5 metre swim. And then I think what I'm going to do is, at 1 o'clock at 13 metres across, with the little pug rig, I'm going to just see if I can manage this. I'm going to feed some caster. So if I can get across that, that's where I want to be. Just into that water, heading up to that overhanging tree. Just wash my cup out. That's good. Mind the camera. Just over here, so around about 13 metres, leading into that hole. I'm just going to pop a few casters in there. Lovely. So I'm just going to try this little pug rig, go straight in with a caster. See if anything wants to bite. Another boat coming. Oh, they were a blooming nuisance. Morning. There we go. Got a fish on caster on the dibber. Another boat coming, for goodness sakes. Looks like it's going to be a busy old day. So we've got a gudgeon on caster across. We're not finding any quality as such right now. It's going to be a lot of effort fishing across there for not a lot of gain, but you've got to do what you've got to do. There's not a great deal coming out, what I can see right now. May take some time for these pegs to develop. Oh, kingfisher. I don't know if the camera caught that. It just nearly flew into the pole. Anyway, a fair old tow on this canal now. Hello, another fish. So, it's another gudgeon. It's kind of not what I was expecting. I'm just going to put a little cad pot on this top kit and keep introducing a bit of caster. I'll have one more look on this, and I think I'm going to have a look on that big fish line, see if there's anything over that worm. We're almost an hour into the match and, well, I'm still trying to find my way. Just drop a few more casters in there. There's a lot of leaf debris coming through and it's causing a few issues. Just hanging up on the line and spotting the float, but we're okay at the minute. Another fish. That was swimming back up the canal, that one. They're barely touching it. That's not a bad little roach, that. I mean, they're not big. I wasn't expecting to catch big fish, but at least we're catching a few fish on caster over there, so that's a line worth pursuing, I think. There's another boat coming through. There's flies everywhere. Right, that's sitting a bit nicer now. I can spot that dibber lovely. Just got that little bit more visibility. Dropped a few more casters in. Are we going to get another bite? Not sure where all these blooming flies have come from. There's millions of them. No bite there. I'll just lower back in. And that was a bite just as I dropped that back in there. Never really took it fully. Oh my god, the flies are horrendous. Okay, I don't think any line's really producing anything right now. It's all looking very quiet down the canal as well, so I think it's probably fishing hard, but we've just got to keep trying. So I'm going to have a nosy on that worm line on the big rig, see if there's something a bit better over there, just hanging under those trees or towards those trees. One big bonus fish might make all the difference today. Let's get over there. So, well, that's typical, isn't it? I've picked up a leaf and it's not coming off. It's off now. So we'll try again. Okay, that's lovely. It's just heading into those shadows, that. So I don't know if you can see it on camera, but just where the end of the hawthorn is, when my pole's pointing now, floats directly under there. So I've got a couple of foot lash on this, just hanging back from it, and it's not moving across there either, so it's quite still. It's sitting nice. Although I think that, well, that's the surface wind coming back, but it's now, canal's definitely towing the other direction, so I'll probably pick the worst point to try and go over there and fish this piece of worm from. So spoke too soon. Towing opposite direction now. Must have just turned around. Oh, is that a bite? Is that a bite? It's turning around again. Another boat coming. So, thought maybe had a couple of blips on that float, but not come to anything. So it's all looking a bit hard at the moment. So I think probably what we're going to have to do is start fishing pinky. Just get our head down on some small fish for now. Maybe come back inside, have a look on the bread again. Fishing long certainly isn't very efficient. It's not where I want to be catching those small fish. So I've got a bit of pull on the canal. It's going to go in a little bit higher than where I want this boat. So I'm going to go back on the little 0.4 gram rig. Fish pinky over some ground bait and pinky I've just put back on that 6 metre line. If it gets much harder, we've got some squats. Well, we might have to fish those. Let's see what happens. Well, that was a bite on pinky, but I've missed it even though the float tip was halfway down. So it's a little bit more encouraging. At least there's something there, but I think there's just a lot of small fish in the swim, and it's, well, I won't even say there's a lot of small fish. I say there's just small fish in the swim. This is difficult. I've had 5 fish, we're an hour and a half in. Probably got 2 ounce at best. I'm not saying I'm panicking, but I'm panicking. That's a bite though, and we've got one. So maybe we've found something that is going to work for us. Another gudgeon. Well, if I've got to catch gudgeon, I've got to catch gudgeon. Bonny little fish. I think maybe we're going to have to go on squats here. Tiny, tiny little things. Look at them. Next to nothing. They're just so small. So small are the squats. I might actually have to drop down to a 22 here. Single squat on a size 20 up, just don't look right. Another boat coming. So that could be an opportunity to top up again. Get some more of this feed on the deck and see if we can start to make something happen. Squat fish. Ah, it's off. Right, I'm going to drop down hook size, put a fine match on, 22 fine match, and that might just help a little bit. In fact, I'm going to drop down to a 24 and a 0.6 bottom here. Boat's gone through, so just into this bit of ground bait with Pinky, I'm going to add some of this squat. There you go, lovely stuff. With a little tangerine. Flies are driving me insane. Well, this is looking really hard work, guys. I can't even get a bite on a single squat now. There's another boat coming through. I think what I'm going to do is, because obviously I don't want hours and hours of footage that I'm going to have to edit, I'm going to knock the cameras off for a bit. If anything improves, I'll get back to you. If it don't, I'll see you at the presentation. Right guys, so a little update for you. There's an hour and 50 minutes left to go, and to be quite honest, nothing's changed. I've had 10 fish, probably 6 of them have been gudgeon, 4 of them roach. And what have I got in the net? I don't know, just drams. It's absolutely dire. Nobody's catching anything that I can see. Boats haven't been too bad. I mean, they've been up and down, been refeeding. I've tried literally everything. I'm on a 24 and an 0.6 bottom now. Single Pinky seems to be about the only thing I can get a bite on, and that's from like a gudgeon. The other thing is, I don't know why, because it's not a warm day, but I've got my hood up because the flies in this peg are just mental. At times I've got 5 or 6 on my hands, 10 or 15 buzzing behind my back. I don't know whether it's the smell of me or who knows, but they are driving me crackers. I cannot wait to get out of this peg. So, yeah, they're all over the pole, they're all over my coat on the post at the back. I just don't know what it is about this particular peg. So yeah, I don't know, I just basically feeding Squat and Pinky and nothing's working. Don't matter if I put ground bait in, I've tried loose feeding, I've tried worm across again, I've tried under the trees. There's another boat coming through now, so I'm going to have to come back out. So I might as well just keep talking to you for a bit. I've been back on the bread, I've tried the bread short, I've tried the Pinky short, I've tried everything across. I've been down the middle, I've fished shallow at about 9 metres because I was seeing the odd fish sort of top. Yeah, literally I just can't buy a bite really. Well, you can buy the odd bite, and when you do, they're just a tiny little fish. So yeah, there we go. Right guys, I've just had my best little run of fish. I set up a ground bait and Pinky line at 9 metres, shell it up like another 18 inches, so I'm well up the shelf. But I've started catching a few little roach, I've had a tiny little perch, so I've had 5 fish. One of them was a minnow, admittedly. But it seems to be the best line right now. And just fishing Pinky is doing the job. I'm trying to maintain concentration with the sheer amount of flies buzzing around my head and on my back and on my hands and everything, but yeah, this is looking a little bit more positive. If I get another one now, then I might be able to string a few fish together and put a few points together for the section. Just got to catch what we can now. Definitely quite a few fish down there, I think. Every drop in I'm getting a sort of indication, and it's just eased off on the floor. There's a lot of junk coming through, but that was nearly on that. It might have been a minnow. It seems better when it's towing actually. I can just run the float through slightly. It's just eased off a bit. But they're sort of like 1 ounce roach, you know, there's nothing big. Pace is picking up a little bit. Using the 0.4 gram rig, shifted the shots down to within 12 inch of the hook, the bulk, and 1 dropper, and it's working nicely. I might need to top it up, but I'm just going to try and fish it out, get what I can off it before I put another ball on it. That's typical, isn't it? I've not had a proper bite there. There's so much junk coming through, there's just rubbish on this line, that's the problem. Just drop back in. We might have had the pinky damaged when it first went in. Oh, that's a bite, there you go, fish. So I've got like an hour and a quarter left. That's smaller than some of the ones I've had, but still, none of them are big. I've got an hour and a quarter left. And keep stringing a few fish together because I can't see anybody pulling anything out whatsoever now. So I think I'm a little bit behind the chap to my left, but probably catching up now. Just trying to find a clear spot to get poked in. Maybe just slowed off a little bit. I'm thinking about putting another top up on this, just another nugget. Nothing crazy. Just keep checking for boats because they seem to sneak up on you on here. Just need these fish to keep coming, and it's slowed off again. I was getting immediate bites when I was dropping in before. So I've taken sort of 6 fish there on the bounce. There's going to be some low weights today. I don't know if some of the other sections might have fished a lot better, but down here it's looking very quiet. Something just nibbling on this. Just waiting for a positive bite. Could just be a minnow. That's the problem. What you want is a bit of flow on, you get a bit of action, and a bit of action into the bait. And then you seem to tempt a roach. No, I've not had a fish again there, so I am going to put another top up ball in. Let's check that bit, yeah, that bit's okay, so. Not got a huge amount of pinkies in here, just enough. I'm giving them sort of like tangerine sized ball when I put it in. Put this off to the right slightly. Get straight back out over it. It's the biggest hurry I've been in all day. It's just been nothing to rush for at all. Oh, something's grabbed that on the way down. So it looks like a few fish have come back over that bit of ground weight we've just put in. Oh, it's a bite, yeah. So that's what was giving us the minnows again. I'll show you this one. Look at that. I don't get much smaller than that. Do you know what? They all count today. Oh, that was a half decent bite. I'm just going to trim the float off ever so slightly with another number 12. This could ruin it. We've got a boat coming through now. I might have to feed again. So yeah, I'm just going to remove a little bit of resistance from the float tip. Stick a number 12 on. Just trim it off. I think while we wait for this boat to come through, I'll make another ball ready to go in. One hour remaining. Tiny fish on that. That was stuck on a leaf. That's another minnow. That's a bite. Oh, I missed it. How on earth have I missed that? Now I've got some junk on the line. There's more boats coming through. But we've got a bit of time. The pinky's not even marked. Well, that one's gone through at a fair old lick. That's a bite. We've got one, finally. Quite well down that. There's another boat coming through. They just keep destroying the swim. You can't get anything going for any amount of time for the boats that keep coming, but that's sort of the stamp of roach you're getting at best. I don't know, I might just go across and try a caster where I put those few casters earlier. And I did top up and I tried catapulting a few over the top of it, but nothing we're doing. So, but there might just be odd fish sat over there now. Anything I can get now has got to be a bonus. As I say, this boat is going to stir it all up again. So we'll have to give it yet another top up. The one decent thing about the boats is that they seem to have cleared all that foliage off the line I'm fishing. It's now sat on the far bank, so if I do want to go over there, I've got to get through that again. That was a decent bite, and actually, that's not a bad little roach. Yeah, that's a slightly better one. That's as good as it gets. Another fish. I've got a few come back now. And just when you get a few fish feeding, along comes another boat. Well, it's gone through nice and steady and it doesn't appear to have churned the bottom up that. So I'll just keep on with this at the moment. A little bit of silk coming up now. Oh, the lad to my left's just got an absolute crumper of a roach. Must be all of 2 ounces. Oh, it's another bite that. I don't know how they hold it down and they're not there. It just must be minnows. I seem to get the minnows after a boat's been through. Something's swimming upstream with that. That's not a minnow though. That's another little roach. So this line's been significantly better. I don't know whether it would have been the best line to be on all day. He's got another one on my left. So there's a few fish feeding now. That's coming at a pace. More boats. There's another boat coming. I really can't even see the plankton feeding now. There's just 15 minutes left. Every time you feed it just gets washed out. I can't see the point in doing anything but fishing this line. I just need to get whatever I can off it. Be it another roach. We've tried everywhere today and there's just been nothing decent in the swim whatsoever. One perch, I can't believe we've not caught on worm. We should have just fished ground bait and pinky from the off. I mean the bread was kind of okay first thing this morning, but once the boat started coming through there was not much doing on that either. So it wasn't exactly electric anyway. Be lucky if we break a pound here. Oh, fish. Wonders we'll never cease. The boat goes through and catch a roach. Stamp fish. He's getting a few to my left, so I don't know. I think he's probably going to beat me. The problem is it's just taken me too long to figure out what to do today, and when you do there's not that many to be had anyway. Trying to maintain concentration in here. Look at all these bloody flies driving me crackers. Look at them on my leg. Yeah, that's another bite. Another small fish. I think something's died behind me. Oh, somebody's tipped a load of bait, because the amount of flies in this swim is just ridiculous and there just seems to be no reason for it. Nobody else is getting bothered. Oh, Robin's just got into a nice one up there as well. Long pole. So there's a few fish coming out, but I ain't seen many coming out prior to this. Oh, that was another bite. It's so strange that it's just switched on again. Oh, switched on slightly. Well, there's one thing, we're fishing the Division 2 National on this canal next week. And I've learnt a few things. If it's anything like this where we're going at Nantwich, it's about 40 miles from there. And I think I'll be starting with ground bait and pinky. One more. Another one. They're getting bigger. Well, 1 minute left. And that's time. Oh, pretty disappointing day. I can't wait to get out of this swim with all these flies. Right, I'm going to wrap up. We'll capture my weighing and yeah, see you back at the presentation, I guess. I won't film it all because it takes too long, but anyway, I'll give you a brief overview of what happens. All right, catch you soon, guys. Bye for now. What's the best weight you've had out?
2.175
Kilo?
Yeah. Not a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot more than I've got though.
Well, there's some dry nets in B section.
Is there? Mind you, I thought it looked hard up there. Now I'll have to check to make sure they're all out because there's some very, very small fish in here. I think that's my lot. Yeah, well, not really.
Well,
but,
no,
yeah.
$3.50.
350 grams. That's a sad state. That's, what is that? That's not even a pound, is it?
No, I think it's something like 500
500
pounds.
pounds.
Well, off you go.
Success, we did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
There we are.
I wrote it.
That's the best fish it did, huh?
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, that's second to last in section, unfortunately. So somebody's had about 150 grams in there, but I guess we needed a practice or something. I don't know what I've done wrong. I think I felt like I'd worked really, really hard at that. So it's disappointing not to even come middle at section, to be quite honest, but there you go. Right, anyway, I'll see you back at the clubhouse.
From E9, for the way to 2225, EA Northwest Black, John Christie. Hey. Second place from A1, Angling Water West with a weight of 2675 kilos. Andy Warboys, one Right. So your winner today for the 46th WICAC we've held now on the bounce. That's good, brilliant weight on the day when you think about it. From D13 with 5 kilos 25. St. Caswell.
Got some decent fish.
Oh God, yeah.
Did the wife send it, yeah?
He didn't
Turn up. No, she phoned me just now.
That's what you need, innit? You need them. Yeah.
Team then. I'm not reading them all out because you ain't giving me all the results, so I've just got the top 4. So in 4th place with 43 points and a weight of 6.15 kilos combined, Wessex Water 8. Fourth
What any better?
At least you can see score reports on. Good try on.
I'll come with 6 of them. Which one of them sponsor? Oh, can't see. I can't see somebody in way.
Third place, 44 points, a weight of 6.125 kilos. 7 Trent Water.
We're being out of everything, aren't we? Yeah, they're not alright, aren't they? There's only 4 of them. And there's Pete.
Yeah, we got one better.
Let's get it egg paid.
I want
In second place, with 50 points and a weight of 7.675 kilos, EA Northwest Black. Well done.
the last ever.
Team champions this year. With excellent return at all round, I must admit, really good. 56 points and a combined weight of 8.35 kilos. Canals and River Trust Flu. Well done, lads.
Right then guys, I'm back home now. So what you've just seen there is the presentation due for the WICAC 2023. Massive congratulations to all the framers and section winners. Anybody who won a prize, well done. That was a tough day's fishing, but especially the biggest congrats go to Canal and Rivers Trust Blue Team. They've taken out the match, so yeah, well done guys. Now, he's probably going to kill me for this, but I'm going to give him a massive shout out anyway, because he won the individuals. So well done Shane Caswell. I've remembered your name now, mate. I know you were ripping me out at the hotel. Yeah, you can thank me for that later. Right, listen, there's so many results to go through. I'm just going to put them all up at the end of this now. So I'm going to sign off and say thanks for watching guys. Next week I'm out on the same canal, but we're out at Nantwich in the Division 2. So WICAC are putting in a team of 10, I think it is. So yeah, I need to get my finger out and do a bit better in that one. So I'll get all the results up for you now. You can browse them at your leisure, and that'll be the end of the video. Alright, thanks guys. Till the next one. Tight lines.